and I can't wait to see where the rest of the series goes from here, and if my high praise will change or not with the next game on the list, that being Resident Evil 0. So I guess I'll just have to wait and see. So, that high praise is on thin ice right now, is all I've got to say, and that is because, of no surprise to many fans of Resident Evil, the second game I've been playing in my journey to platinum all the mainline Resident Evil games is Resident Evil 0. I really did not heed the warnings as well as I should have. After my time with Resident Evil 1, I was really looking forward to starting the next game and learning more about the characters and lore of Resident Evil. But holy shit, 0 can suck the fattest hunter penis. This game was absolutely brutal. Nah, this is fucking stupid. Oh, I hate this game. I was worried I'd ever get the platinum for this game. Beaten by the second game of the series, yeah, that would have gone down well. But we'll get into that. So first things first, let's go over the trophies for 0. Resident Evil 0 has 48 trophies. And much like RE1, has most of its trophies connected to story progression, for example, beating major sections of the game, such as the train or laboratory sections. Thankfully, not 17 trophies for beating the game this time round, thank god, but trophies connected to how you take down many of the enemies in the game, such as guns are too quick for defeating an enemy with a knife, or dead ski for stomping on the head of a zombie to put it out of its misery. Also, we have That's Officer Chambers to you for beating all bosses with Rebecca. We've also got collectible trophies this time round. Oh, the joys, because every nook and cranny was so fun the first time round. We've got File for collecting all the files in the game. Apprentice of Unlocking for finding and using all keys in the game. But we've also got to collect all the weapons in the game. For the trophy, I could shoot, you know. Like in the first game, the joyous speedrun trophy is back to make my life a living hell again. Oh, fabulous. You've got to beat the game in under 3.5 hours to get the trophy, S is for stars, for getting an S rank in the results screen. But it gets even better. The trophy, Save Your Prayers, much like Ink is for Squids in Resident Evil 1, is for beating the game without saving. And it doesn't stop there. We now have This Is Serious Business for beating the game without using a single recovery item. So no herbs or first aid sprays. Oh, this is going to hurt, isn't it? But as much as I want to keep stalling, that's enough on trophies right now. Let's not waste any more time. Let's talk about Resident Evil 0. Resident Evil 0 is actually the prequel to RE1, taking place literally one day before the events of the first game, with Jill and Chris entering the Spencer mansion. This time round, we're playing as Rebecca Chambers, who you may remember as the helping hand throughout Chris's playthrough. She really had a shitty time dealing with the events of this game and having to go through the trouble she went through in Resident Evil 1. Gelly is stronger than me for sure. Anyway, the game opens up and we're aboard a train, watching the passengers going about their business. Panning to the distance, we see some fella who looks like he should be in a Final Fantasy game attack the train with leeches. Ugh. We then see Bravo Team crash landing in the very chopper we see from the intro of RE1. Exploring the crash site, we see military police vehicle overturn and the passengers dead. Rebecca finds a court order for the transport of a death row prisoner, who goes by the name Lieutenant Billy Cohen. Deciding to look for the missing Mr. Cohen, Rebecca stumbles across the train that we see was attacked by leeches, and the game begins. Oh joys, we've got tank controls and fixed cameras once again. Well done, I feel right at home. The controls are quite different from RE1, so it took me a bit of getting used to get my bearings. But like my first playthrough of RE1, I was just going to have a casual playthrough again to see what the game was about. On to the next carriage, Rebecca sees what's become of the train passengers. Straight to it, I guess. What the fuck's the shoot button? Oh no! And I have no idea how to fire my weapon. Awesome. Passengers dealt with, and I'm already in caution. I mean, it's just standard for me now at this point. If I'm not at lower health after my first encounter, is it really a Resident Evil game? Some more snooping around the carriages, and I find the first of 26 files I'll need to find for the File trophy. The passenger's diary talks of investigating the remains of the Arklay Mountains laboratory to check out what's left of the abandoned experiment. It also talks of the T-virus, and mentions the Raccoon City newspapers talking reports of murders in the suburbs, and having worries that I may be linked to the virus. I'm going to say a lot of negative things about this game, but that being said, I will say that the way it links back and fleshes out more of the story of the first game is really well done. I actually enjoyed going for this trophy in particular because while I was collecting the files, each one gave more and more context to what happened and why. It was super interesting on my first playthrough. Now onto the next room, I find another file talking about investigation orders. While being difficult to read with the stained blood, it mentions once again about the Arklay Mountains and about a training facility. They were tasked with doing a preliminary study into the reopening of the facilities, the rest of the file being unreadable. Deciding to carry on, I make my way to the front of the train to where I find a train key on one of the bodies. I then come face to face with the outlaw, Mr. Cohen himself.
Billy. Lieutenant Cohen.
So, you seem to know me. Been fantasizing about me, have you?
Bombastic side eye.
Wait! You're under arrest.
No thanks, Dollface. I've already worn handcuffs.
I could shoot, you know.
Now, first impressions of Billy, he sounds like a tool. Dollface, I mean, come on, man. And surely wearing cuffs like that has gotta suck. Wouldn't his wrists be cut to fuck? Before long, another member of Bravo team, Edward, smashes through the window, talking about zombies and monsters in the forest before he dies. Dogs that were chasing our boy Edward decide to turn their attention to me, putting the pooches down a lot easier than in my RE1 playthrough.
No! God, please, no!
Yeah. I decide to head after our missing pet, Billy. Enrico then calls us on the radio, mentioning that Billy Cohen killed 23 people, what? And to be on alert when dealing with Billy. Using my new train key to open the locked carriage door, we meet our man once again.
Listen, little girl, if you haven't noticed, there's some pretty freaked out things on this train.
I don't appreciate your tone, little boy. How about you pipe down?
I can handle this on my own. And don't call me little girl. The name is Rebecca Chambers, but that's Officer Chambers to you.
Yeah, tell him, girl. So now working with the criminal, off we go to get these automatic doors working again. Heading into the top of the cart, I meet another one of the passengers.
Do you have any ibuprofen? I got a headache.
Thankfully, Billy comes to the rescue and hits the leeches with the Max Payne slow-mo dive. And not long before we meet the Final Fantasy reject, practicing his vocal runs outside the train.
Listen, we gotta cooperate with each other from now on. You got that?
Well, I don't...
Clue in, girl. Or maybe you like being worm bait.
Clue in, girl. Okay, Queen.
But you just remember, I will shoot you if you try anything funny.
Now take these with you.
He then gives us some bullets to shoot him if he pulls anything funny, and we're off once again. Now this is where I saw my first red flag. Character switching. So one of the main mechanics in 0 is being able to switch between Rebecca and Billy on the fly. They really saw these dogshit movement controls and said, double it, give it to the next person. Thanks, Capcom. Throughout the game, you have to use both Rebecca and Billy in tandem to solve many of the puzzles in the game. It's a cool idea, in theory, don't get me wrong, but it definitely could have been implemented better. I'll get more into that when it comes to it. The main differences between the two main characters are that Rebecca can mix herbs and chemicals in her mixing kit, while Billy can move large objects in the game and has more health and has a faster fire rate. Anyway, moving on, I get onto the roof of the train to fix the electrics, to get the automatic doors back online. After some leeches getting the jump on poor old Rebecca, we're now stuck in a room. This is where the two-player aspect comes into play. To get Rebecca out of the room, we have to use the lift to send an item in order to unlock the door. First off, sending the train key I found in the room down to Billy with the use of a lift. I start looking for a door in need of a key. Stumbling across the conductor's room, I find a use for the key, and inside I find a briefcase that needs key items to unlock it. Hitting the switch and going up some ladders, Billy hears something spooky on the roof. Ignore that, lad, we've got a Chambers to save. In another room, I find an ice pick, just what I need to get Rebecca out of the room. But also, a shotgun. Happy days. Oh wait, 2 spaces. What do you mean, 2 spaces? With no way to make space, I had to leave it. Sad times. Going back into the main section, I meet our first big boss. Giant crab? Giant scorpion, that was my second guess. What the fuck, it's massive. This big fucker is called Stinger. And after getting folded like a deck chair a few times, I decide it's probably best to go grab that shotgun. That's when it dawns on me. I can finally drop items.
That's what I'm talking about. This shit means something to me, man.
I was very pleased with this revelation at the time, but little did I know what it actually meant in the long run. So in 0, item boxes are no more. Sad times, I know. What this means is that you're just littering parts of the map with items, and in many areas you can only leave so many items in one place. So the game turns into fetch questing back and forth for ammo or health you left in other rooms. This fucking sucks. I'd never wanted to hear the sweet safe room music and my beautiful item boxes so bad in my life. RE1, I miss you already. But anyway, I grab the shotgun and head back to rematch Stinger. Giving the Pincer Menace a few buckshots, I put him down and get my first trophy, taking the Sting out. Before making my way back to Miss Chambers, I grab the panel opener, and then head to unlock the stuck door. Using the lift to send her the ice pick, we're finally reunited.
Hello there.
Heading to the back of the train, I use the panel opener to open a vent and head on in. Finding one of the rings to unlock the briefcase, I then head outside. Using Billy to unlock the panel, Rebecca is able to grab the hookshot. Using the hookshot on another section of the train, I'm able to get on the roof and find a hole leading to another room. Putting the dead man down, I find the final ring for the briefcase. But before I can link up with Billy, it seems we've got company. Ugh. With all the leeches now awake, I give it legs to see what the briefcase has for me, which just so happens to be a keycard. Unlocking the door to the front of the train, we're treated with a new cutscene.
This is Delta Team. This is Delta Team. We have gained control of the train. Over.
Understood.
Not this fucking
This
guy.
does not make any sense. How was the T-virus leaked? And why did it contaminate both the lab and the mansion, as well as a train almost 3 miles away?
That's irrelevant. We must make sure no knowledge of this gets out. Destroy the train. Completely. How far away are you from the nearest branch line?
About 10 minutes to...
What happened?
Well, now we know not to let the leeches get too close at least. Now in the control room, it seems the train is set to crash, so the next task is to get the brakes working again. To do this, Billy and Rebecca have to split up. Leaving Rebecca behind, I grab the brakes keycard with Billy and head to the rear of the train. Taking care of some zombies on the way, I finally reach the control panel. After using the keycard, I'm treated with a puzzle, where you've got to enter 10 numbers that add up to the number on screen. After doing that, you've then got to do it again with Rebecca, but this time, you can't see the total number you've added up before solving it. After solving that, we hit the brakes and the train comes to its final stop. And a new trophy. Train complete. After putting down the last few train zombies, I make my way through the sewers and come to our next major area, the Umbrella Training Facility. And we see a large painting of the first general manager of Umbrella.
The first general manager, Dr. James Marcus.
Who on earth are those people?
She's just a rookie, a member of STARS.
What about the male?
I'm unfamiliar with him.
Attention! This is Dr. Marcus. Please be silent as we reflect upon our company motto. Obedience breeds discipline. Discipline breeds unity. Unity breeds power. Power is life.
Who are you?
It was I who scattered the T-virus in the mansion. Needless to say, I contaminated the train, too.
What?
Revenge. On Umbrella.
Dr. Marcus?
10 years ago, Dr. Marcus was murdered by Umbrella. You helped them, didn't you?
So knockoff Sephiroth was the one that scattered the T-virus, and is out for revenge for the murder of Dr. Marcus. I mean, Umbrella is shits for sure, so I can't really blame the guy, to be honest. After exploring the facility, I find a crank handle. Just like old times. I just fucking love cranking, mate! Avoiding the crows and exploring more of the training centre, I come into contact with the first Marcus Mimic. These fuckers are the single most annoying thing about this game. They have so much health, so if you're not dealing with them with flame rounds and molotovs, you're in for a long fight. But surprise, surprise, I get my first of many game overs. But at least I got another trophy in the process. Here I come to save the day, for saving your partner when they're getting grabbed. And oh joys, my last save was back on the train. Aha! Before I begin my journey back through the train once again, I knock off another trophy for swapping outfits. Fashion plate. And not long after, trophy number 5 pops. Sit boy, sit, good dog, for breaking the grab of a zombie dog. After getting the hook shot again, I make my way to the room for the second briefcase lock. And get yet another game over, because Billy was getting his face punched on in another part of the train. Oh amazing, I'm having so much fun. At this point, I felt like I'd saved myself into a bit of a pickle, so I decided it would be best to start again afresh. Now at least knowing somewhat what the game was going to play like and expect from me. Now on a fresh save, I make my way through the train once again, knocking off another trophy while doing so. This is how you recycle, for making a Molotov cocktail, as well as guns are too quick, for putting down a zombie with a knife. After the train section is dealt with, I'm finally back at the training facility. Looking for revenge on the Mimic, I put my new Molotovs to use and get another trophy. How about a light bud for beating Mimic Marcus with a Molotov cocktail, and Burned Alive for defeating an enemy by burning them. 2 for 1, not bad at all. But now both in caution, wow, real shocker there, I thought it would be best to find a typewriter and save. Not really fancying going through the whole train section again, honestly. Now feeling a bit more secure, I decided to attempt another trophy for putting down a Mimic with a knife. Yeah, bad idea, mate. Let's leave that for now. Another game over added to the tally. I thought it'd be best to actually explore more of the facility. Entering a room with some zombies, I take the kneecaps off one and get another trophy, Misdirected Hostility, for destroying a zombie's legs. Further in the facility, I find another key item, the black statue. Taking the head off another zombie, execution style. Jesus, that looked brutal. I get the trophy, 0 in, for destroying a zombie's head. But not only that, I find a better shotgun.
Yeah, boy.
Oh baby, the fun times just don't stop. Back in the main room, I find some scales that talk of balancing good and evil. Okay, I take the hint. Deciding to leave the evil looking black statue on one of the scales. I make my way looking for the good version. Finding another file, it talks of an entry code being 815. Stranger code being a time, but I make note of it and decide to carry on. But not before grabbing the crank handle once again. In another room, I find a microfilm and the map of the facility, as well as a use for the crank. Using the crank on the lift, I'm able to send Rebecca up to explore. Jesus, what is that? I pressed the pause button so quickly. After the bugs are put down, I head into a new location and I find an old friend. The grenade launcher. Oh, how I've missed you. I also find the white statue I was needing for the scales. Making steady progress. Happy days. In the room above, I find a key locked in a cage. Using Billy to lift the cage, I send Rebecca over to collect it. Sweet. Or it would be. What the fuck is that? I got centipede. Ugh, it's disgusting.
Billy!
I'm trying, the game is loading. No, where the fuck is it going? Come back, fight me. Hopefully 31 bullets is enough to put him down. Why? Stop running from me. Is that it? Did I do it? Nice, okay. After finally putting the big bug down, I get a new trophy. Centurion Disciplinarian. With all the bug enemies in the game so far, I was thinking it's only a matter of time before I see my 8-legged arch nemesis again. Oh well, moving on. I place the white statue on the scales and nothing happens. Seems like they're not in balance after all. Thinking they're incomplete, I take another look around the facility for the extra pieces. Heading into an office, I find a desk I can push. After switching on the lights and moving it over to a stuffed moose head, wait a minute, I'm getting a strange sense of deja vu all of a sudden. I grab the iron needle, but also find another file in the room. It talks about the trainees and the majority of them being useless, bar 2 that show promise, those being William and Albert, Scholar Will and Practical Al. It mentions their competitive nature and how it sometimes can turn ruthless and cruel. Well, that's true as sounds like our lad Whiskey, so I'm assuming that William is our man in the lab coat from the previous cutscene. The person writing the file also mentions a sudden call from the director, explicitly requesting to encourage the rivalry between the two, and how it's strange for director Marcus to show any interest in anything other than his research. Man loves his job, gotta admire it, even if it is being a creepy Umbrella employee. Now with the iron needle in hand, I head back to the clock I found near the crank lift. Thinking back to the file I found with the crank, it mentioned the time, 8:15. So I set the clock to the time and boom, we are making progress. 2 doors are now unlocked for me to check out. Deciding to check out the east wing first, I come across another microfilm card. Heading to the second newly unlocked door, I find a projector. Slotting the 2 microfilm cards into it, I see an image of what looks like the large conference room, with numbers and letters written across the desks. Before I leave to investigate, I grab the MO disc. Right, this is just taking the piss now. Heading to the conference room, I slap the MO disc into the console and it asks for a code. Using my noggin, I remember the code shown in the microfilm and have Rebecca and Billy activate the desks for the code. Boom! More unlocked doors for your boy. Riding on a high, I sprint into the next room and... No. Become a zombie's dinner. Are you fucking real? Oh, I hate this gimmick. I hate it so much. Fuck me, this game really feels a hell of a lot harder than the first one. I swear Rebecca is made out of tissue paper or something. A zombie sneezes on her and I'm hit with the title screen yet again. So I'll make my way through again, doing the clock puzzle and getting the MO disc to then die to some fucking slugs. Oh, I do not like this game. So, after finally unlocking the sword doors again, I enter a room with a giant chessboard. Who has a giant chessboard in their office? Does Magnus Carlsen work for Umbrella or something? Looking on the desks in the office, we see a smaller chessboard that has its pieces in a checkmate. So I decide my next task is to match the 2 boards. Moving the black pawn, I get a little surprise. Fucking outstanding. Both poisoned, by the way. Love that for me. I set off to cure my poison problem. I also grab the green is the colour trophy for using a green chemical. I then return to set the pieces in place for the checkmate and I get awarded the Book of Evil. I mean, you gotta be evil for putting a booby trap in a fucking chess piece board. By opening the book, I find the missing piece of the black statue, as well as a diary entry from Marcus. He talks about the creation of a new virus, the progenitor, the one that our lad Trevor, his wife and poor Lisa from the first game got to try firsthand. Spencer tells Marcus he's going to start a company. That company I'm assuming to be Umbrella, but Marcus doesn't care as long as he can continue his research into progenitor. Spencer then asks Marcus to become the director of this very training facility. Marcus mentions that he's also worried about that if Spencer's influence continues to grow, it could interfere with his research. In another dated entry, Marcus mentions he's had a breakthrough in the new type of virus using progenitor as a base, by mixing it with leech DNA. That breakthrough being the T-virus. Oh god, and we all know how well that went. With no real progress being made, he decides rodents just ain't cutting it as test subjects, and that he thinks humans can be a more suitable subject for the experiments, if he ever wants to make progress. Over time, Marcus becomes paranoid someone is beginning to suspect something about his research. Growing more and more attached to his leeches, he believes he's ready to move against Spencer and take control of everything. My guy's got lofty goals for sure. Finding evidence of someone tampering with his lab, he wonders if he should have William and Wesker smoke out the pests, being that those two are the only people he can trust. Besides his beloved leeches, of course. I'm going to say a lot of things I don't like about Zero over this video, but goddamn, I love learning more about the plot and the characters through these files and cutscenes. It's taken one of my favourite aspects of RE1 and just built upon it. It's such a big thumbs up from me, that's for sure. So, after completing the black statue and placing it back on the scales, it's time to look for the white statue's missing part to complete the puzzle. Finding some lighter fluid in the kitchen, I'm able to fill up Billy's Zippo and open a new door by lighting a candle nearby. Trying to push the bookshelf with Rebecca nabs me another trophy. I'm a medic, not a bodybuilder, for trying to move a large object with chambers. Finally moving the shelves, we find the Book of Good, which happens to have the wings of the white statue I need. Happy days. Fixing the white statue and popping it back in place, the scales balance out, and a large picture of Marcus begins to reveal a new entrance. Venturing down, I come face to face with giant spiders, and immediately get poisoned. Fantastic. Luckily, after taking care of my arachnophobia, I find a blue herb for Rebecca, and explore more of the basement. Finding an open vent, I have Billy give Rebecca a boost, and find a panel with 5 switches. Hitting the switches in a certain order, up, up, down, up, up, it regulates the power and some more doors open for me. The scene then cuts to our knockoff Final Fantasy antagonist, and he sends some monkeys after me. Oh joys. We also see William and Albie having a chat.
Do you honestly believe this to be the real identity of that crazy young man? Impossible. But if somehow it is true, then Umbrella will be finished.
If the old conspiracy against Dr. Marcus is revealed, Mr. Spencer's career will be over. Not to mention ours, too. So, the time has come at last.
What are you going to do?
I will simply say goodbye to Umbrella. The biological weapon utilizing the T-virus has almost been completed. Our only remaining task is to acquire combat data.
You can't be serious. I refuse to abandon my work. I have finished the research on the T-virus, but I need a little more time to complete the more powerful G-virus.
Do as you wish. I will follow my initial plan and lure the STARS members into the mansion. Their superior combat training should make them perfect test subjects.
Fine. In the meantime, something must be done about that madman. As I recall, URC is equipped with a self-destruct device in the basement. I'll find it, set it off, and annihilate the place to nothing more than a mass of rubble.
Then cutting to Rebecca, hanging on for dear life. Billy, it's time to get a shuffle on and save our Gale Chambers. En route, I pick up another trophy for stomping on a zombie's head. Dead ski. So, these monkeys are the most annoying fuckers in the game. Not only are they too small to actively hit, but they're bouncing off the walls like crackheads, trying to take my eyes out. I hate them. Hate them so. Nah, this is fucking stupid. Well, anyway, after finally reaching Rebecca, we get a bit of backstory for Billy as to why he's on the run in the first place.
Billy, I just need to know. I need to know the truth. Did you kill 23 people? I'm not going to judge you. I just want to know the truth.
It was around this time last year. Our unit was ordered to Africa to intervene in a civil war. Our mission was to raid a hideout of some guerrilla forces located deep inside the jungle. The hideout was far away from our entry point. In the end, only 4 of us survived. Only, there was no guerrilla hideout.
What do you mean?
The idiots in charge had us operating based on wrong information. But we couldn't just go back home empty-handed, oh no. Our leader ordered us to attack an innocent village.
Get rid of them! Kill them all!
Please, sir! Ceasefire immediately!
Shut up! Do it!
Did you execute those innocent people?
Forget about it. Doesn't matter anymore. That was then, this is now. Besides, you said you wouldn't judge me.
I'm not judging you, but it does matter. Look, now my people think you killed those MPs in the van, but I don't think you did. It was those zombie dogs, right? When they attacked the van, you were able to escape. Isn't that right?
You don't get it. I've only got 2 choices left. Either report to the Marines and serve out my sentence, or keep on running for as long as I can. That's all.
Damn, maybe our boy Billy ain't so bad after all. Cracking on forward and putting some more dickhead monkeys down, we get the alley-oop trophy for shooting them down while they're jumping at you. I then come across another puzzle, where you've got to light these statues in order. Trust me, you don't want to know how long this took me to get right. But the order goes deer, wolf, horse, tiger, snake, and finally eagle to open up the gate. In one of the newly opened rooms, I found the first of 3 tablets, the Unity tablet. With the tablet now in my possession, I headed to the training room. While lowering the gates with Billy, I found my way to a switch. Not thinking much of it, I hit the switch and oh shit.
Oh no!
You joking? No. Billy! Help me! Oh, I hate this game. So, I do the torch puzzle again, grab the tablet and make my way back to the training room. Before I let the hunters loose again, I find a briefcase. Inputting the numbers we find on the case, I get some handgun parts. Combining them with either Rebecca or Billy's starting handgun upgrades it. Nice. We also get a trophy. Custom to Bustum. This time round, I have the grenade launcher with me and I'm able to put the hunters down and grab the facility key from one of the hunter cells. I swear, through most of my first playthrough of this fucking game, these two are just constantly holding the signs like they're about to unload the barrels. I'm sorry I suck at the game, but can you two stop pointing it out and make me feel bad? God damn. Using the facility key on the blue door, I run into not one, but two Marcus mimics. Fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, I hate this game. I swear I didn't die this often in the first game. Back in the new area, I find a grand piano. I'm a fan of the callbacks and all, but I can't lie, it's getting a little bit on the nose right now. Having Rebecca play the piano, I get the trophy, Calm the Zombie Nerves. She hasn't practiced in the mansion yet, so I'll let that shocking performance slide for now. You've actually got to have Billy play the piano. Damn, didn't know he was such a creative soul. Doing so, a wall opens up and we're able to grab the battery, which we need to get another one of the tablets. Using a vice handle we found in another one of the rooms, we're able to get another tablet. Just one more left to get. Heading out through the front of the training facility, I use the battery and get the lift moving again. Pushing the box over to one of the pillars, I'm able to grab the final tablet. And now we're off to the observatory. Breaking the ankles of some more cockroaches, I finally arrive at the observatory and slap the slabs into place, completing the facility and getting my next trophy. Training facility complete. Leaving the observatory, I find a church. Having Billy Bob stand on one of the pressure pads to unlock the front door, we can now have a look-see in the beaten up church. Once I enter one of the rooms, my boss fight senses start to tingle, that being because of the ammo and saving right nearby. This ain't my first rodeo, I tell you now. And would you look at that, I was right. A great big fuck off bat comes to say hello. It immediately picks me up, but that in turn gives me trophy number 20, on leather wings. After getting dropped on my head a few times, I find that the idea of fighting a flying enemy in a Resident Evil game is about as fun as playing on a slide made out of cheese graters. And eventually, the big bat's shitty little babies show up to join the party. Oh wonderful, because now, instead of hitting the actual boss, I'm wasting ammo on the little ones. Not that I can even control that because of the auto-aim in this game. I want to know who tested this fight and was like, yeah, that's a winner boss, ship it. I hope they got fucking coal for Christmas. After accidentally killing some of the smaller bats, I get another trophy. Winged Spawn of Satan. No, ain't that the truth. After a few attempts... I hate this boss. Oh, fuck off. Oh my god, this is fucking AIDS. Oh my god, I can't aim, brother. Oh boy. Okay, that worked. I finally put the winged bellend down for good. Turns out just spamming the shit out of him is the way to go. Nice, I guess. And I get a new trophy. Die, Devil Bird. But then I get the unfortunate surprise that to actually move on, I need the hookshot. The very hookshot I left in the main lobby of the training facility. Give me my item box back, Capcom, please! Anyway, I run all the way back, grab the hookshot, and I'm finally able to reach the roof of the church. You can tell by my voice how much I'm enjoying myself. Just jump off the ladder. Just do me a favour. Anyway, positive thoughts in mind, I turn on the lift power and reunite with Bill and make my way down to the labs. I'll just come out and say it. I hate the labs. For this whole section, you're split up. And for my first time round, I was very, very unprepared. I was constantly having to send items back and forth through the lift, and it's just the most brain-dead, tedious thing, having to watch this slow-ass animation over and over and over again. But I guess that's my own fault, I suppose. But good lord, is it annoying to deal with. But at least I find out some more lore from one of the files. I swear, if the story wasn't so interesting, I would have quit on the train, I promise you. The investigator says that Dr. Marcus, co-founder of Umbrella Corporation, had disappeared 20 years ago, and that the results of his research were being kept under wraps the entire time. In the labs, we find evidence of research into the T-virus prototype called Progenitor, and that years of hideous experimentation was used on actual employees of the company. Imagine asking time off for your kid's birthday and instead getting turned into a test tube monster. Ugh. There's no clear number on how many people were taken, but no less than 20 individuals were involved, some taken deliberately to keep the corporation's secrets safe. Apparently, the experiments continue to grow in the dark, and the fruits of his research fill the facility. Oh joys, that doesn't sound ominous at all. Well, anyway, I find a leech capsule. In another file, it mentions the need of a stripping agent by mixing green and red chemicals together. So getting the agent together, I'm able to get the capsule open and get my first of 2 leech keys. Back with Billy, I use the leech key on the large blue door and enter a room where I find an input coil, along with a photograph to commemorate the graduation of James Marcus, who looks a lot like our Final Fantasy villain reject that's been a pain in my ass this whole game. Entering the next room, I find the final green leech key. With new key in hand, I head back to the item lift and hand it back off to Rebecca. Using the key on the green door, I find the sterilizing agent, so I can now get rid of the poison in another sealed room. After dealing with the zombies and grabbing the breeding room key, we're off again to explore. Oh boy, I love exploring me. Luckily, I decided to save before entering the breeding room so I didn't have to do all that shit over again, thank God. So I head back into the room, grab the dial from one of the cages, and send the dial back over to Billy. I'm able to unlock the door in the lab by entering the code 4863. Bingo, we're in. Finding the cable car, Billy calls up Rebecca saying that he believes he's found a way out of this mess. Flipping the power to the platform, we're able to make our way over to Billy finally. I grab the output coil on the floor nearby, and with the trusty hookshot, I'm in the lock control room. Putting the input and output coils into the controller, we're able to get the cable car back online. Happy days. Or it would be if a fucking monkey didn't pop out of nowhere and take our lad Billy with him. Left alone with Rebecca, we are faced with a mimic too. Fucking great, I'm having so much fun. Turns out the power has gone off too, as one of the coils we've put in has been removed. Game, can you stop kicking me in the balls while I'm down, please? So back in the control room to see what the issue is, and it's leeches. Of course it's leeches. I take the output coil and slot it back into place, and dart it for the cart. A ray of hope though, inside the cart we find the Magnum. Honestly, I needed some good news after the quick succession of bullshit just hit me all at once. Now I've started the cable car, we're finally out of the labs and get another trophy. Laboratory complete. Completely bullshit more like. But anyway, I've got to go find the tribal tattoo wearing bellend now. I don't want to be stuck playing Rebecca any longer than I have to. I'm worried another zombie will look at me the wrong way and she'll have a cardiac arrest. Heading down a small lift to explore some more, I find a factory key. Heading back to where I came and getting jumped by 2 hunters, thanks game, I make it back to the control room. Using the turntable, we make our way further down in search of our missing crook. In the next area, we meet a familiar face and mustache. It's only our boy Enrico.
Don't shoot! You're alive.
Are you okay, Rebecca?
Where is everybody?
They should have arrived here before me. Haven't you seen them? That's unfortunate. If we go straight from here, we should arrive at an old mansion which Umbrella uses for research.
Old mansion?
Come on, let's go.
I don't think you want to go there, big man.
I gotta find Billy.
Billy Cohen? You mean you found that criminal?
Yes, but we got separated and...
No point worrying about him. He won't make it. Come on, let's go.
Sir, please. I need to find him. Don't worry, I'll catch up with you.
Rebecca... All right. Just be careful.
I never saw him again.
Oh, don't worry, Chambers. I did. After saying goodbye to the mustache man, we grab the lift key and try to make our way down. Till we're interrupted by the proto-tyrant. Oh, fuck. So, a proto-tyrant shows up to clap some chamber cheeks, which he does successfully, unfortunately. Fuck me. Trying again a face down tyrant, I managed to get off enough magnum shots to put the ugly fucker down and get the trophy proto-tyrant down. As well as factory complete. Well, that was a quick stage, damn. Heading into the lift, we get another cutscene with James Marcus. Brother loves the leech life. A little too much, to be honest, but each to their own, I guess. Leaving the elevator, we see our man Billy is dragged away by the current. So close, yet so far. Well, off we go to catch up with our man. Entering the treatment plant, I've got to get the power back online to use the lift. After a little light puzzle, we get the lights back on and we explore more of the factory of fun. After getting further down through the plant, I finally come across our soaked through buddy, and we see what's become of the test subjects of Marcus's research. Bet you regret asking for that pay rise now, Brian. Finally back as a pair, it's now time to take a look around this plant. And oh joys, we're face to face with a new puzzle. And a fucking ball ache of a puzzle at that. What you've got to do is get the 2 wooden boxes over to the other side, so you can make a path to the valve you need to open another door in the plant. This is an absolute ball buster of a puzzle, and only made worse by how slow you move the boxes around. So, after plenty of trial and error, I get it done, and I'm finally able to grab the valve. So with valve in hand, I head back to the locked door, and die again. What a shit game! Oh my god. I have to do all that again. Oh, I'm gonna punch her. So I do all that over again, grab the valve, and finally get the door open. Taking some ladders up in the next room, I find some chemicals and add them to the mixing kit, just in case. Dealing with some hunters, I find a safe room. Thank the Lord. I can finally save knowing I won't have to do the start of the plant over again. At least not in this playthrough. Oh boy. In another room, I see the control panel for the gondola is missing a motherboard. So off to search I go. Taking the lift down, I get surprised by an old friend. Proto-Tyrant is back for seconds. After getting slapped around some more, I finally put the ugly fucker down and get the trophy. Proto-Tyrant down again. Hopefully for good this time. Lower some ladders and I find the missing motherboard. Success! Now back to the gondola controls, I slot the motherboard in and we're good to go. Rebecca gets in the gondola and I'm able to raise the bridge to another part of the plant. Finding some industrial water and another chemical, I'm able to mix it with the chemical I found earlier to make sulfuric acid. In a file I found earlier on, it tells me that I needed water and sulfuric acid to power a battery. So with all the pieces of the puzzle, I just need to find myself the battery. I eventually get Billy over to Rebecca and I'm able to boost her up to grab the battery in the room below. Not before being bum rushed by some cockroaches. With those taken care of, I head over the forklift. Using the battery to power it, I'm able to grab the keycard to the incinerator off the cliffside. After finding the door and using the keycard, it's finally time to come face to face with the big bad of Resident Evil 0.
Welcome, young one. So glad you have joined the party. You are the guests of honor. After all, it's your wake.
Who are you? Dr. Marcus?
No, you can't be. What's going on?
10 years ago, Spencer had me assassinated.
Time to die, Doctor.
I will take over your research.
Wesker, Birkin.
However, something wondrous happened. It took the T-virus inside of my queen years to procreate my new life.
I live. Now I will have my revenge on Umbrella, and the world will burn in an inferno of hate.
You'll pay for what you've done.
We'll see which one of us is gonna die.
And here we are, up against Queen Leech. First time round, didn't go so well. Surprise, surprise. I mean, it's me we're talking about here. Eventually, I do manage to take Marcus down, and he drops 2 keys. Taking the 2 keys over at the panel, I have Billy and Rebecca use them and get the trophy, Apprentice of Unlocking. And it's now time to make our way to the final area. Again, first attempts didn't go so well. This big fucker just ended up stun locking me to death in a corner. Well, thanks for that, Queenie. After many attempts and even getting to the second phase, I realised I simply didn't have enough ammo to finish the fight. But at least I got my trophy for getting all the files. File a file. No matter what I tried, no dice. I simply couldn't last long enough for Rebecca to turn all the valves and finish the fight. So I did the only thing I could do. I had to trek all the way back to the training facility in order to get the handgun back and the ammo, just so I had a chance of lasting long enough to see the final fight through. And thank God it worked. Rebecca turns the final valve and I finally had Queen Leech down for good.
Queenie! Feast on this!
He's only just taken them off.
Hey, that must be the old mansion that Enrico was talking about.
Oh god, now I know nothing good goes down there. And with that, Resident Evil 0 is finished. I get the trophies, treatment plant complete for beating the final section of the game. Hey Queenie, feast on this for beating Queen Leech. And that's Officer Chambers to you for beating all bosses with Rebecca. Now with 0 beaten, what do I make of it? Story-wise, I think it's great. I feel like it answered pretty much all major questions I had coming out of RE1. Learning more about Wesker was really interesting, and I can't wait to find out more about this Birkin fella too. But with all that being said, I fucking despise the decisions that were made for this game. The lack of item boxes and the dual character gameplay in this game is absolutely torturous. Enemies in the game too are so frustrating to combat. Looking at you monkeys and mimics. It's just not fun to deal with these things. The puzzles that ask you to use both characters don't even feel well thought out. Half the time the other character only serves to be a button pusher while the other one is actually doing the puzzle. It just feels so surface level. I can appreciate them trying something new, but it just didn't stick for me at all and really pulled me out of the game. The training facility sections were alright looking back at it, but the rest of the game just broke me down, honestly. It was such a slog to get through, and I was just finding myself getting more and more frustrated with each new challenge put in my way. The box puzzle, Jesus Christ. Delete that shit from the game. But with all that being said, I ain't done yet. It ain't over till the platinum is mine. So it's time to suck it up and get the rest of the trophies, methinks. Maybe the game will redeem itself, who knows. My money is on no, but you never know. Now with beating the game the first time round, I unlocked a new game mode, Leech Hunter. If the main game was like constantly getting flicked in the head, you can think of this shit as straight up cock and ball torture. Leech Hunter is set in the training facility of the game, and you're tasked with collecting 100 leeches, 50 green, 50 blue. You got to collect them all and leave the facility to win. But while doing that, there are plenty of enemies to make your life hell. Now I would have just passed on this crock of shit off rip, but unfortunately, trophies are connected to it. 5 trophies in fact. Those being, trying out new things, for just playing Leech Hunter. A leech-shaped hole in my heart. For beating Leech Hunter with rank E or above. A weird interest in leeches. For finishing it with A rank. Who needs partners? For collecting all of one colour of leech charm, but also distracted from the hunt. For killing all enemies in Leech Hunter. Now, it doesn't sound that hard in theory, or at least it didn't to me at the time. But what I didn't take into account was that a complete run to get 100 leeches will be taking you about an hour and a half to complete. And the fact that if you die, you're done. You're right back to square one, starting with 0. And don't get me started on the fucking music that plays on loop the whole time you're playing this fucking thing. It dawned on me real quick that this wasn't going to be a walk in the park. Give me invisible enemies again over this shit. So attempt after attempt, I was getting nowhere near. I eventually had to look up a guide by the hero OptiNoob. Shout out to him. where he goes through step by step how to get all the leeches, because this was taking years off my life genuinely. And even after following along step by step with OptiNoob's great guide, I was still getting my shit rocked. But thankfully, in the end, I managed to get myself the leeches and the trophies were mine. Trying out new things, distracted from the hunt, a weird interest in leeches, and a leech-shaped hole in my heart. But not only that, in getting an A rank, I unlocked infinite ammo for all weapons, as well as unlocking the Magnum Revolver. In my opinion, the best weapon in the game. This will make cleaning up the rest of the trophies at least tolerable. But Leech Hunter isn't over yet. I still had to get Who Needs Partners, so yay! Ugh. Back in to do it all over again. This time with just Rebecca collecting her 50 leeches and leaving the facility. So after going through that hell a second time, it was finally over. I grabbed the final green leech charm and bolted it out of there as fast as I could. And ding, the trophy popped. Who Needs Partners was finally mine. I'm never playing that shit again, I swear to God. Leech Hunter wasn't the only new game mode I unlocked when I finished the game. Have you ever wanted to play as a slick back, megalomaniac dickhead with some killer shades? Well, now you can in Wesker mode. You guessed it, you get to play as Albert Wesker himself. With that comes some perks. You'll be able to shadow dash by holding down circle, and it sucks. I never used it, I'll be honest. But forget about that, the real perk comes from his other move, the Death Stare. While holding down square, you can charge up an attack. That one-shots pretty much everything in the area. This is also connected to a trophy too. 2020 vision for killing 50 enemies with Death Stare at full charge. And it gets better. All the infinite ammo and Magnum Revolver carry over into this playthrough. Oh boy, could this be the light at the end of the tunnel for Resident Evil 0. So for the Wesker run, I wanted to smash out as many trophies as possible. I was aiming for the Wesker 2020 Vision Trophy obviously, but with all the extra gear I was bringing with me, I thought it was no better time than to tackle the 3 No Healing trophies, while also doing the Save Your Prayers trophy for not saving during a run, as well as getting an S rank for S is for stars, which means I was going to speedrun this fucker too. Now those in the know, don't spoil the surprise. Wesker mode actually turned out to be pretty fun, and knowing what I'm doing this time round and actually how to play with this dunce AI, especially you Rebecca, it made the game almost decent to play. Not having to grab all the files or keys also takes a bit of the stress out of exploring every nook and cranny of this place. Getting the Magnum Revolver and one-tapping zombies with ease never gets old. Getting the 2020 Vision Trophy was actually super easy too. But with all that being said, I didn't pay much attention to the fact that I was going for the No Healing trophies. Along with the no saves, takes this challenge from a 7 out of 10 to a 11 out of 10. In both attempts I was playing as perfectly as I could. I was making good time reaching the factory section. With an hour to spare, I was all good. But my health was always in danger or caution no matter how carefully I played. In my first attempt, I got all the way to the final fight with Queen Leech, and even got it to a second phase, only to die off screen by it. So close. Second attempt comes around and I reach the Queen Leech fight again, this time with even a bit more health than before. I was so confident I could pull it off, but nope. I hate this game. The third time round, I get eaten by a frog. Yeah, that happened. Bear in mind, with each attempt, I'm starting right back at this fucking train, because I'm going for the no save trophy too. I was at my wit's end and I had to call it. I decided after getting eaten by a frog, I'd put my ego to one side and not go for the no save trophy this run. So I was just going to do the no healing items and the speedrun trophy for the S rank. I made it all the way to the Queen fight with Wesker being fine and Rebecca in caution. If I was ever going to do this run, it would be now. So I hit the switch and started up the final fight. I kept the big bitch at bay long enough for Rebecca to pull her finger out her ass and get those valves turned, and the roof opened up, and I was finally free. The run was over and I waited patiently for my well-earned trophies. Who got the herb? Allergic to first aid sprays. This is serious business, and that was it. Wait a minute. But I beat the game in less than 2 hours. I cleared the 3.5 hour mark with ease. Why didn't I get the S's for Stars trophy? Then it hit me. You don't get a rating in Wesker mode. So I did all that rushing about for a fat fuck all. Oh, yeah, I didn't check before attempting if you can actually get ratings in this mode. Well, shit. I guess I'm speedrunning this fucker again, ain't I? But with that realisation out the way, I really did enjoy playing Wesker mode and blitzing through the game like that. It was a hell of a lot more fun than Leech Hunter, I'll say that much. But thinking about it, that's not really saying a lot. Anyway, on to the next run. So this time round, I make sure I'm playing on the standard game mode, so I can actually get the S rating I need for S's for Stars, for beating the game in under 3.5 hours. But I was planning on getting a few more trophies too, that being, I have the touch for taking down a Mimic Marcus with just the knife. Find time to combine, for combining every type of herb with one another. I could shoot, you know, for getting every weapon, as I was sure I only need the submachine gun and rocket launcher, which you get for beating the game with a certain rating. Welcome to Team Wesker for putting on the Team Wesker costume, and save your prayers for not saving at all. Now, with a plan in place, I think it's time for a quickfire round. Rebecca, start the clock. I hop aboard the Leech Express and get my mini skirt on to join Team Wesker. Grab a hand cannon to keep the baddies in line. Can't forget the key. Can't be forgetting this one either. Make sure my luggage is accounted for. An ice pick for a damsel in distress. Billy takes the sting out. Reunited with Boo. Lift and latches. Ring 1. Blink won't miss this, will he? Ring number 2. Gotta check the luggage to be safe. Leave the mini skirt behind and grab the stop moving card. Poppin' skulls. Practice simple addition. Show Noodleman the pointy end of my knife. Ding ding, I have the touch. Say hello to an old friend. Grab Satan's body mold. Is it really Resident Evil without some lift maintenance? Bit of cranking. Let off a few in Centurion. Begin fueling the flame. Have a bit of deja vu for the Iron Needle. Setting some mood lighting. A good book for a good boy. Start setting the time on my fresh new Rolex. Get the code and the MO disc. Stick around for a seminar. And that is checkmate. I've seen Evil Dead, I know what this thing does. Flex my chemistry muscles for a trophy. Grab a steamy statue. Bring balance to good and evil. Give Chambers a leg up. Flippin' switches. What are you doing down there, silly? Initiate a battle sequence. Ooh, piece of candy. Setting candles to set the mood. Gather the sacred texts. Obedience, discipline, and can't forget unity. T-virus is bad enough, pal. Keep your coronavirus, yeah? More lift maintenance. Test tube. Special delivery. Leech number 2. Grabbing agents. Sterilize the fart cloud. Breeding keys. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. Cracking the code. Starting up the whip. Starting up the whip for real this time. Grab an extra blicky. Key time. Start up the turntable. Hi Tyrant. Goodbye Tyrant. Flashing lights for there to be light. Reunite with Boo for a second time. This fucking box puzzle can suck donkey dick straight to a valve. Put Tyrant down for good. Motherboarding. Becky in a box. Boosting for batteries. Give us a lift, mate. Swiping cards. Round 1 with the Queen with the power of friendship. Queenie wants another go. Let there be light. And roll credits. S is for stars, and save your prayers are mine at last. The grenade launcher and submachine gun now in my possession. I was waiting for the collect all weapons trophies to pop, and no dice. Turns out I was missing one final weapon. Oh, shit the bed. Turns out you need to upgrade both Billy and Rebecca's handgun. Oh, great. So I'll play through the game again to the point where you can get the handgun upgrade and slap it on Billy's handgun. And finally, I could shoot, you know, is mine. Just one trophy left, and the platinum is mine. And I never have to touch this game again, thank goodness. It's been a struggle, but the end is in sight. One final trophy before I can put a bow on my Resident Evil playthrough. That trophy being from 0 to 0, and ain't that the truth. So my last run of this torturous game is going to be my hardest yet. I have to beat the game on hard difficulty. But surely this will be easy, with the infinite ammo and all my new guns unlocked? Well, no. Seeing as I got all of that on normal difficulty, it doesn't carry over. So a fresh start on hard it is, but with all the runs I've done of this game now, surely that's got to count for something. Right? So starting a new game, and I was locked in. I thought my best chance is to avoid needless fights, conserve ammo and survive long enough to see that roof open one more time, and finally be free of Zero. Honestly, things were going pretty swimmingly for the first half of the game. I managed to get through the train by saving my ammo and taking Stinger out with the knife, and got through the training facility with my head still attached. But what I was dreading finally happened. I got to the bat fight and basically softlocked myself out of the fight. I tried resetting aggro by leaving and entering the church, but no dice. He just wouldn't go down no matter what I would do. So I swallowed my pride and loaded an earlier save, and tried my best to save those flame rounds for our winged friend. After many attempts, I managed to finally bring him down. And with that, I was in the lab. I was pretty nervous about this because I was planning on doing this without having to use any ammo. After dodging and darting around for the leech keys, the dial, and finally reaching the cart, I was in the final stretch, in the treatment plant. This is where all the ammo would be spent and I was ready for it. I grabbed Billy and made my way through the plant, trying to only take fights I needed to, in order to save my ammo for the 3 boss fights I'll be doing, to see those credits roll one final time. Honestly, palms were getting pretty sweaty, but with the tyrant down and my first run-in with Queenie behind me, the end was in sight. I managed to save, and it's a good job I did, because Queen Leech was not going down without a fight. Many attempts later, the final latch finally opened, and just like that, Queenie was no more, and credits start to roll. From 0 to 0 pops, and most importantly, my second Resident Evil Platinum, Wanna Go for a Ride, was finally mine. Now I'll just come out and say it, if it wasn't already abundantly clear through this video. I did not enjoy my time with Resident Evil 0. The story and lore were awesome, and I still like Rebecca as a character, even if her AI acts like it eats crayons, but I cannot abide by the decisions made in this game. I hated the 2-character mechanic in the game. It just felt so cumbersome and surface level. It just felt like a half-baked idea that should have had more time in the oven. Billy also, as a character, doesn't really have a connection to anything that happened in the first game, so he really just serves as a character for you to control, to justify the 2-character gimmick. I'd rather it have just been another member of Bravo team if I really had to deal with the 2-character gameplay. I mean, fuck it, let me play as Enrico if I have to. The bosses also fell flat for me too. I mean, 2 of the 7 boss fights in the game are the same boss. You just end up fighting twice or 3 times in Queen's case. Seeing Tyrant again was cool, but the Queen Leech fight was just frustrating, having to wait for Rebecca to turn the valves and open the roof. It just fell flat as the final boss for me. And the no item box, oh my good lord, that was the straw that broke the camel's back. And you really feel that in the hard playthrough of the game. Having to consistently juggle items around between Billy and Rebecca is just a full-blown headache, and the backtracking to different rooms for items just sucks the life out of me, honestly. I really hope in the next RE game that they bring back the item boxes, or at least have a better alternative to whatever the fuck this shit is. All that being said, I am pleased I finished the game, but more pleased of it just being over than for the actual experience of playing it. I appreciate it was trying to build upon the Resident Evil lore and give a look at what transpired to lead to the events of the first one, and that's awesome because I really loved playing the first game. But if I had the choice, I would have just watched a story breakdown and moved on to the next game. 0 is brutal, unforgiving, and a damn short to play. But play it I did, and that's another platinum down. Be it with a bad taste in my mouth. I really hope the next Resident Evil can come back to form and be the breath of fresh air I need after having to deal with all those damn leeches. I've got my fingers crossed that the Resident Evil 2 remake will be better than this. It just has to be better than this. And like that, 2 down, 11 more to go. I really hope you've been enjoying the videos so far. As much as I've ragged on 0, it's been so fun doing this challenge. And I can't wait to start work on Resident Evil 2. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on 0 if you've played it, or if you have any tips for RE2. Please, no story spoilers though. I'm really enjoying finding out more about Umbrella and all the viruses as I've been playing the series. It's awesome. I find the story so interesting. Thank you all so much for watching, and I hope you look forward to the Resident Evil 2 video in the near future. I'd also like to figure out how to stream too, so maybe I'll stream my playthrough of it, if that's something I'm able to do, who knows. But anyway, for good, this has been
Resident Evil 0.